Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into the amazing tools that let us, actually talk to our computers. Input devices. From the keyboard you're probably using right now to the mic that picks up your voice, these are the gadgets that bridge the gap between our world and the digital one. Let's get into it.
I mean, think about it. It feels so instant, right? You tap a key, a letter appears. You click, a window opens. But behind that super simple action, there's this incredible, lightning fast process of translation going on. We're going to pull back the curtain and see how it all works. So, at its very core, an input device is our translator. We've got ideas, commands, words in our head, and these devices take all that and convert it into a language the computer can actually understand. Without them, even the most powerful PC is just a really expensive paperweight.
And here's the cool part. No matter how simple or complicated the device is, it always does these three basic things. First, it accepts your input, that key press, that mouse wiggle. Second, it converts that physical action into a digital signal. And third, it supplies that signal to the computer's brain. Accept, convert, supply. That's the secret sauce right there.
So let's start with the undisputed heavyweight champion of input devices, the keyboard. It's the main way pretty much all of us type stuff in. We use it so much we don't even think about it, but it's actually a brilliantly organized piece of tech.
A standard keyboard isn't just a random scramble of keys. Nope, it's cleverly laid out in 5 different zones, and each one has a very specific job. You've got your main typing area, the number pad for crunching numbers, those function keys up top, your arrow keys for getting around, and a few other special keys for odd jobs.
Okay, this is the heart of the operation, the QWERT layout we all know and love. But the real magic isn't just the letters themselves, it's the modifier keys, Shift, Control, and Alt. Think about it. Holding down Control turns the letter C from just a letter into the copy command. These keys add whole new layers of power. Over on the right-hand side, you've basically got a calculator built right into your keyboard. If you're someone who works with spreadsheets or numbers a lot, this thing is a lifesaver, way faster than the number row up top. And that little numlock key? It's like a switch that changes its whole personality from a number pad to another set of arrow keys.
And what about those F keys running along the top? Well, think of them as your personal command shortcuts. What they do changes depending on what program you're using, but there's one golden rule. F1 is pretty much always the universal help button. It's like a built-in lifeline.
All right, let's move on to the keyboard's best friend. If the keyboard is for talking in words, the mouse is for pointing, for interacting with the visual world on your screen. This little device completely revolutionized how we use computers. You know, for the longest time, mice had this little heavy rubber ball inside that would roll around and get all gunked up with dust. It worked, but yeah. Today, almost every mouse is optical. It shoots a tiny, invisible beam of light at your desk, and a sensor tracks the movement. It's way more accurate, and best of all, there's nothing to clean.
So why do we even need a mouse? Well, because it's just so darn intuitive. It lets you jump your cursor anywhere on the screen instantly. Instead of memorizing a bunch of weird keyboard commands, you just point and click. And if you're doing anything visual, like drawing or editing photos, it is absolutely essential.
It's kind of wild, but our entire modern computer experience is built on these 5 simple moves. You point at things, you click them, you double-click to open them, you drag them around, and you right-click to get more options. Seriously, almost everything you do boils down to one of these 5 things.
Okay, we've covered the big 2, but the world of input devices is huge and, frankly, pretty awesome. So let's do a quick lightning round of some of the other specialized translators that let us talk to our computers in all sorts of cool ways. First up, the joystick. For any gamer out there, this is the go-to for precise control. It just gives you that tactile, responsive feel for flying a starship or exploring a world that you just can't get from a bunch of arrow keys. Next up is the trackball, which is basically an upside-down mouse. Instead of moving the whole device around, you just use your thumb or your fingers to roll the ball. It's a total game changer if you don't have a lot of desk space. You see these things everywhere. That scanner at the grocery store checkout, it zaps the barcode and instantly translates those black and white lines into a number the computer understands. It's the simple input that makes modern retail even possible. So what if you need to get a physical photo or an old document onto your computer? That's where the scanner comes in. It shines a light on the page and basically takes a picture of the reflection,
creating a perfect digital copy of a real-world object.
Remember filling in all those little bubbles on tests in school? Well, an optical mark reader, or OMR, is the super specialized device that grades them. It's built to do one job perfectly: find those little pencil marks, which lets it grade thousands of tests with insane speed and accuracy.
Now the microphone does something that feels like pure magic. It takes invisible sound waves, your voice, and turns them into a digital signal. This single input is what powers everything from voice assistants to video calls to podcasts.
And finally, the webcam, our little window to the rest of the world. This camera takes the light around you and turns it into a live video stream, letting us connect face-to-face with people anywhere on the planet. It's become completely essential to how we work and hang out.
So here's the crucial point. We've looked at all these different gadgets, right? Joysticks, scanners, mice, keyboards. They couldn't be more different. But at the end of the day, they all share the exact same fundamental goal.
And this is the main thing to remember. They are our bridge. They take our human intentions, a touch, a sound, a movement, and translate them into actions the computer can understand. That translation is everything. It's why we can do all the amazing things we do with technology.
And really, we've only just scratched the surface here. There are dozens, maybe hundreds of different ways we've figured out how to communicate with our machines. It really shows how creative we are at building these bridges between our physical world and the digital one.
Which leaves us with a final big question. We've gone from keyboards to mice to touchscreens to just using our voice. So, what's next? Are we going to be controlling computers with our thoughts, with just a wave of our hand? The story of the input device is far from over, and it's going to be really exciting to see what that future looks like.